chief...
Operations manager.
No, you identified from the footage.
Yes, yes.
The chief of security.
Indeed.
Of the premises.
Yes.
When guests arrive at your premises, are they allowed to come in through the basement into the hotels, or you have to book first at the reception?
Usually when they arrive, we have very few parking slots at the lobby or at the reception area. When they're coming in with the vehicles, especially if they're staying for 3-4 nights or longer, we normally ask them to park at the basement. So that is exactly why.
And apart from that CCTV footage, which personally I could not be able to clearly see the face of the lady, can we completely say that besides that lady, do you have any evidence of any of the other 3 commissioners entering into that premises?
We provided that to the council, to the tribunal.
Are they clear, or as they like what we have seen?
They are clear.
I can assist. They are all clear, and even in the corridors going to the rooms, it's part of all this. It's there.
Thank you.
Good morning, Simon.
Good morning, sir.
Could you understand the reason behind the provision that hotels and other establishments register their guests? Why is it that we just don't walk into a hotel and sleep, nobody asks for an ID? Do you know the logic behind the requirement that somebody coming in must give you the identification and possibly their postal address and telephone number?
Yes, we do, for security reasons and fire or health emergencies.
For security reasons, including acts of terrorism.
Indeed.
Is it a requirement of the hotels, or is it discretionary that at times they can waive it? So that if you wake up on this side, today you say, don't bring your ID. If you look at somebody's face, you think they are very handsome, or they are tall, or they are very high profile, you don't ask for the ID. Or is it mandatory?
It is mandatory.
So you concede that your establishment is in breach of that provision of the law.
That is exactly why we kept records of the arrivals.
In terms of us, you coming in, and I've heard you say that these were introduced as very important persons, VIP. So for your hotel, there are provisions for people you call VIP, and there are provisions for wananchi wa kawaida.
Absolutely not.
So you consider that you could have done better and would have made the work of this commission and getting information much better. For example, if you say Irene Masit was in room 21 and this is the evidence.
We really insisted on getting the documents, even through Edwin himself, and we were promised that we'll get the documents the next day.
So you preferred to take business first and the law second?
No, that is why, because we knew that we had all these records behind us, so that is why.
So with these gaps in your records, is there a possibility that somebody could be booked in room 21 and end up, for example, in room 40? Because it's not very clear. It doesn't seem to flow.
There is no possibility.
There is no possibility. I have seen what we've been shown by lead counsel, and I want you to be very honest. If that was taken to the street, even to the village where Commissioner Masit comes from, could somebody be able to say, that is my sister or my cousin Masit? Is it very clear what we've seen? We are not talking about what we have not seen.
No, what we've seen is not clear.
is not clear. And in terms of these records, I'm finding it very interesting. I want you to go to page 21. Page 21. The entries starting with the word tenant. Tenant, 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 tenant. You've seen that?
Yes.
So if you look at, scrutinize those entries, the tenants are going to room 23 and 27, correct?
That's correct.
How many entries? Those are how many rooms? Those are 2 rooms.
Yes.
How many entries are there? You see, if there are 2 rooms, I could expect 2 tenants. Is that correct?
Not really. As I explained the layouts of our rooms, you can have more tenants in the room and only one person sign.
But I want to tie it back to your early evidence.
Yes.
You say the commissioners came and occupied room 21, 23, and 27. Is that correct?
Yes, 27 was occupied by security.
So if you are here, how many now tenants seem to be occupying 23 and 27 from the records?
Let me just clarify because...
Just answer first, then clarify. It makes our work very easy. Just answer the number and then clarify.
8.
8 tenants.
Yes.
Now clarify whatever you want to say.
Usually, this is collected at the main entrance, so must have been a couple of vehicles escorting.
So this is at the entrance where all these people record themselves as tenants. Tenants. No name, tenant. Is that correct?
These were vehicles. They recognize the vehicles, so they just record them as tenants because they're already in-house.
I'll take you to page 22. Have you seen where the name Hon Raphael Tuju is?
Yes.
Can you confirm what is after the name Raphael Tuju? Those marks, what do they mean after the name?
Room 21.
Who came next after Raphael Tuju? The immediate entry, which to me seems to suggest that it's Raphael Tuju and Raphael Tuju again.
An escort.
It's an escort.
Yes.
So your people in the gate cannot say, this is an escort. They said Raphael Tuju and Raphael Tuju again. You are in a position to tell us who specifically was in room 21?
On arrival, this was information given to me by the team. On arrival, two of the lady commissioners stayed in room 21, and 2 of the gentlemen stayed in 23, and then security stayed in 27.
All in all, you have come here on behalf of the hotel.
Yes.
But there are specific people within the hotel who could be in a position to have seen the commissioners and specifically Honorable Masit. Do they still work for you? The hotel?
Yeah, some of them do, some of them don't.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, witness. I wish you well. Pass our regards, sir.
Thank you, Chair.
Yeah. Next witness.
Yes, Mr. Chair, the next witness is the CEO of IEBC, whose evidence might be long. Could we allow 10, 15 minutes for people like Don who are over 50 years?
Thank you. He didn't hear the joke, so it's okay.
As the chairman, as he takes oath, I just need to clarify that in the break we've just realized that if you look at the clip on the projector because of the size, it's not clear. But if you look using the laptop, everything is very clear. I think when you look at the laptop, you'll notice the clarity. Here is not very clear. Thank you. Thank you.
Chairman, I just have an issue with that, in that we already closed that case, and the witness already testified what he said. So I think with respect to my friend, he can't review the evidence of the witness. I think it's clear. The witness is not clear, so that's it. That's a record.
Okay, I think we can start. Mr. Marjan.
I swear by the Almighty God that the evidence I will give before this tribunal shall be the truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. You can sit kindly. Simon, I think the mic. Be a bit loud, address the chair and the members. Your full names and what you do for a living.
Okay, my name is Marjan Hussein Marjan, and I work for the IEBC as the Chief Executive Officer as well as the Commission Secretary. Thank you.
Okay, you was, I believe, a citizen of this great nation.
Yes.
And you have your witness statement?
Yes, I have it with me here.
Now, Chair and members, it's volume 2 from page number 5 of the volume 2 of the witness statements. It's dated 12th December 2022, page number 5. I believe we're there, Chair and members. Very well. Mr. Marjan, is that your statement from paragraph 1 up to what paragraph?
Paragraph 1 up to paragraph 13.
Did you sign the statement, and when did you sign it?
Yes, I signed the statement on 13th of December 2022.
And you'd wish that statement to be your first primary or your primary evidence before the tribunal?
Yes.
Paragraph 11, you also rely on the affidavit you filed before the facts in the affidavit before the Supreme Court?
Yes.
Mr. Chair and members, we bundle volume 3, list bundle. It has the affidavit. Page number 34, pardon me. Volume 3. Now, page 34 all the way to page 182. Is that the affidavit and the annexures? All the way to 182.
Yes, all the way to 182.
182, you'd wish also the tribunal to rely on that, the facts in that affidavit. That's what you say?
Yes.
Briefly, you as a CEO, what's the role of a CEO at the IEBC?
The role of the CEO as the IEBC is the day-to-day administration of the commission. At the same time, also responsible as a secretariat to the commission. So I'm the commission secretary to the commission, which basically means that in all meetings, basically I attend as the secretary. And at the same time also I'm responsible for implementing all the resolutions that have been approved by the Commission in the meetings.
Thank you. Want to touch on paragraph 5 and 6 of your statement.
Yes.
You distinguish between you as an accounting officer and then the two arms. What are the two arms? And you cite section 11. Please clarify.
Yes. Yes. In paragraph 5, I stated that I'm the accounting officer, meaning that my work is cut out, is defined according to Public Financial Management Act as well as the Public Procurement Act. And also as an accounting officer on annual basis, I get my responsibilities from the National Treasury. The CS, National Treasury, will make me every financial year to sign and commit to myself as the accounting officer. And the roles are clearly defined, purely touching on matters procurement and also matters finance.
And
yes.
Just go on.
In paragraph 6, I referred to section 11 of the IEBC Act, which basically states the responsibility of the members of the Commission and the responsibility of the Secretariat. And according to the section 11 of the IEBC Act, the responsibility of the Commission is basically to formulate a strategy and policy and also to oversight. And the oversight basically is done through having subcommittees of the Commission who basically assign different directorates for them to oversight. Yes. And the subcommittee now report to the full Commission. And in full Commission, I'm the Secretary. So whereas the people who report to the subcommittee, my staff, the directors, who are the Secretary, they work with the commissioners who have been assigned that specific function, and then now they report now to the full Commission, where I'm basically the Secretary. In management, I'm the chairman of the Committee of Management. So all the papers are basically discussed there, and then after that, they will have to go to the plenary through the subcommittee. This is how oversight is being done, to ensure that one is the subcommittee representing the Commission, not only grasps the matter, but also will present to the full Commission, and the full Commission will be able to interrogate them, and final recommendations coming out of that, they are going to be now my responsibility to ensure that they're implemented.
All right. You had referred in your statement to section 11. I've given you a copy of the Act, which talks of technical and administrative officers. Is that part of what you oversight, and you are the team leader in that secretariat for that?
Yes. As the Commission Secretary, I am the, as you put it, the leader of the Secretariat. So in the Commission, we have the technical side, which basically is what is the mandate of the Commission, to conduct election and referenda, and also boundaries limitation. So that is basically the technical area, which basically is the conduct of the election, the limitation of boundaries, and also voter education as part of the mandate of the Commission. That is the technical side. The others are basically professional because they provide support to the technical. For example, if you want to recruit human resource, then we have the Human Resource Directorate. If you want to manage finances, we've got finance as a directorate that basically manages. And if it is procurement, procuring goods and services, there's a directorate basically responsible for that. So when you look at them, it's basically there's the technical side, and also there is now the professional.
Right. Now, in this tribunal, even this morning, an issue has been raised about Commissioner Masit's car. Is that a role of your secretariat, as an administrative role, or is it a role of the Commission?
Come again?
There's an issue raised about Commissioner Irene's car.
Car?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Whose role is it to provide that car? Is it provided by Commission or the Secretariat?
It is the Secretariat. When the Commissioners join us, the first thing I do as a Commission Secretary is to assign them cars. In fact, on the day when they are being sworn in, is the day when even the cars are going to pick them.
Is there any cars assigned to a Commissioner Irene, and do you know it?
Yes, I know all the cars assigned to all the commissioners.
Commissioner Irene Masit?
Commissioner Irene Masit also has a car.
Which one?
It's KCL 133U.
KCL
133U.
133U.
It's a Toyota Prado, yes.
Toyota Prado.
Yeah.
Does it have a government registration?
Yes, it also has a government registration number. And the registration number is GKB 699R.
GK?
GKB 699R.
699R. Just give me 1 minute.
That is the one that is registered. It is a registration number when we procure it. But for security reasons, we give them private numbers. We write to the National Police, and they basically give us to the head of public service.
Okay. Now, it's very interesting that you've just given me that number. Just go to volume 5. Volume 5, there's a small volume I've put there. Is a document from Yaya Center. Do you see that registration number?
Which page are you referring to?
Page 29.
Page 29.
Number 2 from the bottom.
Page 29.
GKB, you see that?
Yes, I see from the bottom, the second from the bottom.
At the top, you see it is a vehicle of movement for where? The top.
At the top, this is basically the document is located in the apartment, tenants and staff vehicle movement.
So, okay, second from the bottom is which car?
Second from the bottom is the person who wrote his name is Victor.
No, the car registration.
Is GKB 699R.
For which apartment? Number?
Apartment.
The third row?
The third row is number 21.
Okay, that car, is it IEBC car?
Yes, yes.
According to the registration number. Allocated to who?
This is allocated to Commissioner Irene Masit.
And is this the same one on the next day, the next page? Page 30, the first one?
Page 30. Yes, yes.
Right. Now, I need just to go on the first day, on the 15th, on page 21.
Page 21.
Which,
Page 21.
do you see?
Just a moment.
Do you see the KCL number there on the 15th? Look at the 15th.
15th. Okay, not very, but
line 8, row 8.
Yeah, it is, but okay, it's as if it is rubbed, but it's 130. There is a 6 and 3, almost just.
KCL 133U. Whose car is that?
KCL 133U is for Irene Masit.
For Commissioner Irene Masit. Provided by who?
By IEBC.
By IEBC.
By
Thank
IEBC.
you. We can move that on. Now we go to, you are talking about section 11. So once you give vehicles to the commissioners, do you regulate where they go, or it's up to them?
No, we don't regulate where they go, but it's supposed to facilitate them to, of course, come from their house to the official premises, which is the IEBC headquarters, and also sometimes when there is official duties outside the work session, they will basically use the same if they want to use. Yeah.
Right. So paragraph, same section 11. 11A of the Act, it gives the functions of the chair. What is the function of the chair and the commissioners?
Section 11.
A, the one you've even cited in your statement, number 6.
Yeah, is basically formulation of policy and strategy and oversight.
Are they have any role in the administrative work or day-to-day work of the of IEBC?
No. That
Now,
is the work of the secretary, the commission secretary and the secretariat.
it's the work of the secretariat. Now, hiring of law firms and external law firms and lawyers to represent IEBC, it has come up before this tribunal. Whose role is it?
The hiring of lawyers basically is done in two ways. One basically follows the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act, whereby it is the accounting officer who is responsible for procuring the law firms. And in this case, because of the nature of the legal service, so we pre-qualify lawyers. And in pre-qualification, you go through the same process of basically tendering. You ask for law firms to submit their, to respond to the tender that we have sent. And then based on that, we have got a criteria for evaluating them. The ones who qualify, we put them in our list. It doesn't matter whether they are 1,000, 100, all of them are going to be part of the law firms that we can now be able to pick from. So that is the first part, which is basically now the work of the accounting officer, who basically appoints the evaluation committee.
Who is yourself?
Which is myself. I'm the accounting officer. Basically, I appoint the evaluation committee, and they do the evaluation. And then now, when it comes to now assignment of the law firm's work, again now it's a work between the Directorate of Legal and the accounting officer. So the Directorate of Legal, being the technical directorate responsible for legal services, they will advise that these are the lawyers that they, in their opinion, think should be used for the purpose of specific activity, or maybe if it's we have been sued, then they would basically recommend that these are the law firms that we recommend for use. And then now I will approve that, and then as part of contract, I will sign now the instruction letters to those law firms that now you have this work, and it is only, and that is a contract. So the signing of the contract basically is the work of the accounting officer. So I'm the one who basically signs the instruction letters.
So you sign instructions to external lawyers, external law firms.
Yes.
In your affidavit, you had instructed which law firm? The one we are on page 34. The same volume 3.
Yeah. For which petition?
Petition number 5. The presidential elections petition number 5 of 2022. Raila Odinga and Martha Karua versus IEBC and 7 others. You see that? Volume 3. Volume 3. Remember, we were looking at your affidavit.
My affidavit?
Yes. Volume 3, page number
34 to 182.
34. Look at page 34, drawn and filed. You see that?
Yes.
And page 48,
Page
drawn and filed. Which law firm was instructed and by who?
48. Just a moment. Let me refer to them. Here, okay. This it is actually Iseme, Kamau, and Maima here.
Who instructed that law firm?
It is actually me, as the accounting officer.
And what was the nature of your instructions to the law firm in respect to the petition? To concede, to oppose, to challenge?
To defend our position as a commission, because we had already, there are petitioners actually saying that the results are not in accordance with the law. And according to us, the presidential results that we had, the chairman had declared, were actually done in accordance with the law. So we were defending our position. We were actually opposing what the petitioners were basically.
Now, did that law firm file a rebuttal or a response on behalf of the commission, IEBC?
The Iseme?
Yes.
Yes. Actually, finally, the petition was, we actually won the petition.
Right. Now, let us go to volume 2. Volume 2, page 225.
225. Okay. This is page 100 and page
225, volume 2.
225.
Just
Yes.
go through that statement. It starts 225 up to 238. You look, see that?
Up to, yes, I've seen that.
Now, that is the same petition where you had filed your response through Seme Kamau and Mayam Advocates?
Yes.
Petition number
This is petition number 005.
of 2022.
Of
Same
2022.
petition,
It is
Raila
the same.
Amolo Odinga and Mother Karua versus IEBC and others. That's correct?
Yes.
Now, if you look at page 238, which law firm filed this?
This is Issa and Company.
And at prayer B, they are asking what?
An order of this court bearing the second respondent or any person from victimizing and or spreading propaganda or in any...
No, B for boy. Boo.
An order that the results announced by the second respondent on 15th August is unverifiable and therefore invalid.
So IBC was saying that what the chairman announced was invalid and unverifiable. Is that was your position? Who instructed the filing of this petition, this response?
This is not the position of the commission. The position of the commission is what the chairman basically declared on 15th. This basically is negating what the chairman declared. Under the results that were generated, I was part of it.
As the accounting officer,
yeah.
did you instruct this law firm?
This law firm, no. It was not among us the law firms that were instructed.
So who instructed them? Are you aware who instructed them to take a different position from that of the IEBC?
I'm not aware, because I did not instruct him in the first place.
You did not instruct him.
Yes.
Right. Now, in terms of the commissioners of IEBC, who was to file rebuttals on behalf when they enjoined? Did you instruct them to file separate rebuttals or responses to the petition, or is it the commission that was instructing lawyers to file in respect to the commissioners?
It is myself, the accounting officer, who was instructing the law firms.
Now, that same document, you have page 168, volume 2.
168, yes. Yes.
You have (168) at page 175. You see it is an affidavit by who? A reply by who?
$175.
Yes.
This one is a replying affidavit
Yes, by 175 at the top.
by Irene Massich.
As the time this litigation was going, as of today, I believe she was still a commissioner of IEBC.
Yes.
Had you read this affidavit before?
No, I had not read this before. Probably, but
All right, let me take you to 192. You see that lawyer, Ouma J and Associates?
192.
Go first to 168. Ouma J and Associates.
168.
Yes. Did you instruct that law firm to act for any of the commissioners for roles undertaken by a law firm for roles undertaken by commissioners?
I don't remember.
Ouma J and Associates?
I don't remember having given letter of instruction to this firm.
Now, 192.
192.
Paragraph 69, line 1, 2, 3. You see, I cannot. You see from there?
Yes.
Just read the 2 lines, then I ask you my question.
69.
69 from the place I cannot.
That.
No, line 3.
Line 3.
I cannot.
I'm on 69.
Yes.
Line 3. I cannot vouch for the veracity of the results declared by Wafula Chebukati on 15th of August 2022, for there was no transparency on his part towards the declaration of results, and final figures were not verified. I was kept in the dark by the chairperson with respect to the tallying.
Was that the position of the commission? You were secretary to the commission?
No.
Right, let's go to section 16. You remember you are citing sections in your document. It talks about a code of conduct. Is there any code of conduct executed at the commission, either by commissioners or employees?
Which document are you referring to?
No, I'm looking at the act. Is there a code of conduct?
Yes, there's a code of conduct.
Is it signed by commissioners or only employees?
For employees, we sign. For the commission, I will not know. Probably it is the chairman who has the.
So you are not aware?
Yeah, I'm not aware.
Right. Now let's go to then paragraph 7 of your statement.
Paragraph 7.
Let's go back to your statement.
Okay.
Paragraph 7, you talk about documents. And all these documents from A to U been adopted by a commission and approved?
Yes.
They are.
Yes.
Do they bind or by employees, or are commissioners also supposed to comply with the provisions?
These are policies which have been approved by the commission, and they are to help us to address certain situations. For example, even though on matters, give me an example of procurement, for example. There's a whole law, Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act, which basically details how an entity is supposed to, a government entity is supposed to procure. But to make it easier, we basically now prepare a policy and procedures manual to help all the employees who are actually assigned procurement responsibility to follow.
So in that respect, you've pushed me ahead where I was coming to. In instructing, whoever instructed ISA to file that, what I would call a response, was that a breach of any law or anything?
Certainly, yes, because the procurement law is very clear, because it gives the responsibility and obligations to only the accounting officer. And the procurement law is so clear in that it says that if there is any other law that is in conflict with the procurement law in matters procurement, it is the procurement law that is going to supersede. It's going to supersede all the other laws.
Not the other laws.
Yeah, all the
So
other laws.
instruction to ISA and company was a breach of that law. That's what you're saying.
Definitely, because it was not done by my
What
office.
about Public Finance Management Act?
It is also in the breach of the Public Financial Management Act.
Right. Now, under BOO or B, BOO for those with children, B for those who have the others way around, you talk about elections operations plan.
Yes.
What does that provide?
This election operations plan details all the activities that are going to be carried out by the Commission before, during, and after the election. And it basically operationalizes the strategic plan, but in matters election. Because the strategic plan is basically an overarching document which basically covers everything. But now, to only focus on election, we now prepare the election operations plan.
Now, does it provide for security, or which policy provides for how security is taken care of?
The election operations plan, basically, in matters election, it provides for everything, including security.
And security?
Yeah, it
so
provides everything.
Who has the role of providing security at the National Tallying Center? And we will show a clip. You will tell us what really happened. Who has that obligation?
Through even our memorandum of understanding with the National Police Service, it is the National Police Service who is supposed to provide the security at the National Tallying Center. but they are also working with us very, very
So
closely.
who works, when you say us, is it the commissioners or is it the commission or the secretariat with you as a team leader?
Well, before the election, the chairman basically formed various committee to handle various matters. Like, for example, myself and Professor Gulie, we were assigned the responsibility of results management. Security was assigned to Commissioner Wanderi and Commissioner Masit. Those are the
Security was Commissioner Wanderi and Commissioner Wasit. I want to play a clip, and I ask the next question. We just watch that clip. Are we able to get the voice? Thank you. Was in charge of security.
in charge of security arrangement at the National Talent Center was the responsibility of Commissioner Wanderi and Irene Masit.
And Irene Masit, she's present here, you can see her?
Yes.
Right. I see somebody with a rungu. Traditionally, they'll call it differently. I see third parties going to block the chair. Can you explain what was the breach? Under what circumstances was the breach? Or was it that the people responsible failed to do their job? Can you explain?
Personally, I was very shocked when we were coming from the commission resting room, because we have got a resting room where we discuss matters whenever there are any issues.
So, Chairman, I don't want again to interject much, but we have the witness statement from my friend Marjan, which is served us. So I don't know why my friend Peter Munge wants to divert the witness from outside his witness statement, because that's not in his statement. So I don't understand.
My Lord, Mr. Chairman, he adopted his affidavit before the Supreme Court as part of his statements. And we have issues of breach of regulations, and he's explaining who was in charge of what and what were the breaches. It's part of what was before the affidavit. That affidavit is adopted in paragraph 11 of his statement.
Mr. Chairman, let him show us the paragraph in the affidavit in the Supreme Court, filed in the Supreme Court. It's not there. Let my friend Peter show us the paragraphs.
What in particular?
What Peter is asking Mr. Marjan to do is to reach conclusions based on the scene. He asked him to adopt his statement. So what Mr. Marjan is supposed to do is to explain his statement, which is saying is adopting the affidavit he filed in the Supreme Court. But what now he's trying to do is reach conclusions about security breaches which are not in his affidavit. So let Peter show us the paragraphs of the affidavit. Otherwise, we're running a village tribunal now.
I can save time. Let me not go to that question. Let me move on so that we save a lot of time. Now,
but you know, Mr. Donald, you fire quickly. For some reason, you fire quickly. And I'm hoping that this is the last time you are going to say that we are turning this into a village tribunal.
Chairman, with tremendous respect, you stop Peter when he called this video a circus.
No,
because it's prejudicing my client. He's calling it a circus. You must also protect my client.
You're again firing.
Yeah. I'm just asking that the tribunal be impartial. If it tells me to stop saying something, then Peter also must be told not to call it a circus. He's already reaching conclusion that it was a circus, and he's trying to force the Marjan to reach certain conclusions based on the video, which is not in his affidavit.
He has said that he is adopting a different course in view of your objection.
Yeah.
Thank you. So the operation plan, you see the 1B. So security is part of that.
Yes, it's part of that.
Security is part of that.
Yes.
Now let's go to D or do for dog. Human resource procurement. No, sorry, procurement and finance. The issue of instruction of law firms and service providers, is it part of that?
The issues of
instruction to service providers. D.
On procurement and finance, yes, it is. Because, like I said, in pre-qualifying law firms, it's purely a procurement process. And issues of letter of instructions is contractual obligation, which commitments actually being done by the commission secretary or the accounting officer.
Right, okay. So, this commission, the IEBC, why is a commission established under the Constitution? IEBC?
The IEBC is Article 88 of the Constitution basically clearly states the mandate of the commission.
Very well. I believe Mr. Wafula Chebukati will talk more of this, and I would leave it at that for cross-examination. Thank you.
Mr. Marjan, at least I like your truthfulness. You've been trying to reach certain conclusions. The vehicle you were referred to,
Yes.
is being driven in by Victor. Who is Victor? Does he work for the commission?
I don't know. I may not know all the staff, even driver deployed to the.
But at least you must know the drivers of the commissioners, Marjan. You can easily confirm to us whether Victor Kel works for the commission.
I can confirm by asking, but I may not know each and every driver working for the commission. For example, I may not even know, right? I don't know even the driver who is driving the chairman. If you ask about mine, I'll tell you. But if we ask the transport manager, we'll be able to tell you who is the one basically driving the commissioners.
Peter showed you two number plates. One private number and the other one a GK number, purportedly referring to the same car. Did you? I didn't get the private number. Did you get the private number?
KCL 133U.
And the GK number?
699.
I can't see it on page 21. It said page 21.
It is GKB 699R.
Is it the same car?
It is the same. When we buy the vehicle, the registration number assigned is that of government. But now for security reasons, we give them private numbers to make sure that they are secure. So we normally write to the head of public service and assign us the register.
Once you've given a commissioner a car, she's free to use the car to drive wherever she wants to go. I mean, basically, you don't track the car movement.
No, okay. We don't.
Okay. Thank you, Marjan. By the way, is the car? Did you take the car away from her when the Gazette notice was published?
Yes, when the commissioners were basically suspended, yes.
Yeah.
Because according to HR policy, once you're suspended, you hand over all the facilitative things that you are given by the commission. And vehicle is one of them.
You know, we are all saying we're under the constitution, which binds us. Have you read Article 251, which suspended the commissioner?
No, unless you refer to me.
Let me ask you, when there is conflict between the constitution and your HR manual, which one supersedes?
It is basically going to be the constitution because it's the primary.
Okay. Just read Article 251. Just give him Article 251 to read. (251) Sub-Article 7. It's just one line. Just read that line.
Sub-Article 7.
Yeah.
A person suspended under this article is entitled to continue to receive 1/2 of the remuneration and the benefits of the office while suspended.
Half the salary. She has one car. Can you divide the car into two? Does the article say that you divide the car into two?
No. It depends on the interpretation of the benefits here. Is it remunerable benefits or is it facilitative benefits?
Does it say you take away your security?
No, it doesn't. It's very generic. That's why there are laws now that are going to come out, stated laws, to basically expound on this.
So you're confirming today you took a car, a security, a driver from the publication?
No, actually, I didn't do that. I got instructions from the chairman, whom basically the commissioners report to.
Okay, thanks. So it's the chairman that instructed you?
Yes. There's written instructions to that effect.
It's good for the record. One time he'll answer it.
Yes.
Just give me back my constitution. Let's go back to the Elections Act. Not the Elections Act, rather the IEBC Act. The IEBC Act, Marjan, refers to if you look at section 11A, It says the commission and the secretariat. So it gives a distinction of the, who is the commission?
A commission is, it is used interchangeably.
No, I'm just saying, Marjan, the act itself, section 11A says relationship between the commission and the secretariat,
Yes.
meaning there are two parts.
Yes.
This is a law. This is not what we think, but this is what the act says. The commission and the secretariat.
In this instance, when it says the commission, it refers to the chairman and the commissioners in this case.
And the secretariat is under your leadership.
Yes, absolutely.
If you look at the constitution also, it just talks about the commission. So you take the constitution and the act, so basically commission is the commissioners.
That's why I'm saying, you see, in respect to what we've just read in section 11, it is clearly, basically, the commission and the secretariat. It is actually distinguishing the people who run the commission. But sometimes also the commission can be made to refer to the commission itself. Everybody is basically.
Have you read the judgment in full, the Supreme Court judgment E005 of 2022?
No.
The Supreme Court made a clear separation of the two, of the secretariat and the commission, completely. There is no doubt in the judgment that there is a secretariat and there is a commission. Do you report to the commission? I mean the commissioners, or the commissioners report to you?
I report to the commission. Commissioners don't report to me.
Okay, thank you, Marjan. Yes. So do you supervise?
And I don't report to the commissioners. I report to the chairman of the commission.
Yeah, which is the commission.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you supervise Commissioner Irene Masit in any way?
No, I don't.
As the CEO, of course, I know you're not, but you... Do you know how many committees there are in the IEBC commission, the commissioners' committees? Do you have the internal memo setting, of course, the chairman will come here, of 14 September 2021? Yeah. It's actually from you, by the way, Marjan.
Yes.
Yeah.
The committees, once they are formed at plenary level, then it basically comes.
You're actually the one who set up, let me read, let him read the committees.
I think we are a bit prejudiced. My colleague did indicate they are not filing anything. He wants to show the witness a document I have not seen. I think it's only fair that I have an opportunity to look at it so that when re-examination I'm not ambushed, I'm clear.
It's actually from him, just setting up the committees. Marjan, while he's on it, do you have the letter instructing Iseme, Kamau, and Mehema to act for you in the Supreme Court case?
Yes.
Do you have it with you? Did you bring it?
Here? No.
Okay, but it's there.
It's there.
Is there a letter from IEBC instructing ISA and company advocates to act for IEBC?
No.
Did they ever raise a fee note to you to pay?
None.
Did you pay ISA and company advocates any fees?
For this petition?
Yes.
No. None.
So...
by the way, we have not paid anyone.
Yeah, but I'm saying they have not raised any fee note and you've not paid them, ISA and company.
Yes, they have not. I've not seen any fee note.
Because you didn't appoint them. They were not appointed by IEBC.
Yes. I said it that.
Yeah, we're in agreement on that.
Yes.
So, if IEBC did not appoint ISA and company, and if the ISA and company has not raised their fee note, and ISA and company and the IEBC has not paid any money to ISA and company, where is the breach of the law, Mr. Marjan? Where is the breach of the law by IEBC? These are law firm you did not appoint. These are law firm which has not raised a fee note. These are not
the law firms that they are going to use, and ISA was basically amongst them.
Do you have the what I've asked you, Marjan?
The memo I have.
Okay, Marjan, what I was asking you, based on your answer, did IEBC instruct ISA and company?
I said no, we did not instruct.
Did you pay any fees to ISA and company?
We didn't pay any, we have not paid any.
Exactly. So then, how has IEBC breached any laws Has it broken any law? Have you been accused by Procurement Regulatory Authority that you breached any laws? Have you been sued by Procurement Regulatory Authority?
No, the instructions, you see, it's a
What I'm asking Marjan.
let me answer first of all.
No.
You ask me a question.
No, Marjan, let me answer. I'm rephrasing my question.
Okay.
Has Procurement Regulatory Authority written to you that you're in breach of the laws by appointing Eastern Company?
I have not appointed Eastern Company in the first
I'm saying, Marjan, as Procurement Regulatory Authority written to IEBC, it's a simple question, Marjan. Have they written to you a letter that you're in breach of the Procurement Act?
No, none.
As simple as that, Marjan. Let's not complicate issues here.
I'm not complicating.
Yeah, there is no one has written a letter to you, no one has complained.
You are the one who is complicating because you are referring to me. The appointment was not done by me. It was done by somebody.
Because there is no appointment, no one has complained to you that you have broken the law, Marjan. IEBC, has anyone complained to IEBC that they've broken the law?
None.
That is it. So that's what I'm asking, Marjan. Just, have you seen Peter? You can give him the list. I just want, because it was his document.
Mr. Chair, I highly object to questions on these documents. It talks of a plenary meeting of 14 September. It has several names, several contents. It's purportedly signed by Marjan. I have sat with this witness for pre-trial. We've gone through all the documents. Unless I see these plenary meetings so that I authenticate this and I'm ready and I've prepared this witness. Being ambushed, I am very uncomfortable. I think the right thing is if my colleague wanted to file any documents to rely upon in cross-examination or in any way, even today if they file, we have no problem. They can file their bundle. All we need is time to look at them and prepare, but not be ambushed with documents from under the table.
It's okay. Marjan, you think you're relying on your replying affidavit?
What is your response to that?
No, I have no problem. I don't want to complicate. I'm not going to introduce the document. Marjan, you're relying on your affidavit that you filed in the Supreme Court.
Yes.
Just give me his affidavit. The one he filed in the Supreme Court. Page 34 to 182. You have the document.
Taken my document.
Oh, I thought it was mine. Because he gave it back to me, so I thought it was mine. Paragraphs, page 34 to 1. Okay, we're not going to 182. We just have your affidavit only. 34 to
182.
Page 30. Actually, 35. Page 35. At the handwritten at the top. To page 48. 35 to 48.
35 to 48.
Yeah, you have 49 paragraphs of your affidavit. 49 paragraphs. In that affidavit of yours, which was filed in the Supreme Court, just show me only one paragraph that you've accused Commissioner Irene Masit of anything. Anything.
No, there is nothing like that.
Just say it on, just speak to the microphone, Marjan. Have you made any accusation against Commissioner Irene Masit?
Personally?
Yes, in your affidavit. Anything.
I don't remember. I don't recall any.
Even that.
I was just giving the facts.
Okay, yeah. So you've made any, you have not made any allegations against her?
None. I don't remember.
Thank you. If you look at that affidavit, page 30. Page 34, actually. If you look at page 34. 35. You can see Commissioner Irene Masit is the 8th respondent. 8th respondent.
Yes.
You were told of the law firm that she used in defending. She's a party in this case. She's an 8th respondent in this case. Did you pay the legal fees for her lawyer representing her in the Supreme Court?
I don't remember. In fact, we have not even paid any legal fees.
No, but I'm saying, did you pay for a lawyer? Did she ask you to pay for a lawyer?
Which is our lawyer, first of all?
Is it Oma? No. Did you pay Oma?
No.
I'm just asking, did you pay Oma?
No, I've said no.
Yeah, that's a fact. Again, in the Supreme Court decision, the Supreme Court again said they're entitled to their own representation and that they pay their own legal fees. The Supreme Court said that. Do you remember that again, or you didn't read the judgment? Marjan?
No, at least I remember something like that they're entitled to that.
To the representation?
Yeah.
Because my friend was trying to say that there's a lawyer acting for her, as if there's anything wrong with her being represented by a lawyer. The Supreme Court said she has a right to a lawyer, and she pays her own legal fees. So I don't know why that issue even arose in this.
Who is this friend you are referring to? You said you're a friend. Are you referring to him?
Relax, Marjan.
Maybe that question should be directed to him, not to me.
Do you know Reverend Dennis Dumbi personally?
Reverend?
Yeah. Do you know him, Reverend Dennis Ndumbi? Do you know
Dennis Itumbi or?
Ndumbi.
No, I don't know.
Do you know Jovri Langat?
No.
Do you know Owor Steve Jerry?
None. I don't know.
Do you know Zachariah Matayo?
No.
Have you met them?
No, not at all. I've not met them. I don't know them.
You don't know
I've not even
them?
seen them. That's the truth of the matter.
I know. And I bet I agree with you, Marjan. I agree with you. So when the petition was filed in the National Assembly to remove the commissioner, were you part of it?
No.
Were you called to testify in the National Assembly, to be a witness?
No. I was not called. Nobody called me.
Do you want yourself to remove Commissioner Irene Masit from the commission?
Well, I'm not the one who is saying they should be removed. It's the petitioners, and based on the arguments they are placing on the table.
Yeah, but I'm saying you don't know the petitioners.
No, if
no, you don't know the petitioners. You don't know the petitioners.
I don't know them.
Yeah.
I don't know them, but to the extent that the four commissioners would go and say that the results declared by the commission.
Marjan, that is not your work, Marjan. Don't be excited, yeah?
I'm not excited.
Don't be excited. You're an employee, you're a secretary. Just relax.
That
I didn't ask him. No, Chairman, I didn't ask him.
1 minute. Suddenly you've been praising Marjan until he was about to make that statement, then he will stop you. Please complete that
Chairman,
statement.
no.
Excuse me. I am the one presiding, Mr. Kipkorir.
It's my question, Chairman.
Yes, excuse me.
No.
I'm the one presiding. Answer that question.
Yes, okay. Like I said, that I'm not the one who accused them, but to the extent that they make public statement that the result declared by the chairman, which we worked with them so closely, up to the last point, there was nothing wrong. They would go and say that and say the opposite. That is where actually our crossing points basically are.
So you become a bad man to Donald. Thank you.
No, Chairman, let's go on record. That's not I didn't ask you to answer that question. We're recording this thing for posterity. That's not my question. Marjan. So who called you to be a witness in this tribunal?
I was called by the commission to be part of this, to give my statement. Basically, I said, fine, I have no problem in going to testify. It is in the interest of the country as well as the commission.
The Supreme Court dealt with the issue of the division of the commissioners, the 3 versus 4 commissioners, which is public knowledge. Mr. Marjan, why were you involved in tallying and verification of presidential elections?
Well, it is given. I'm the head of the secretariat. It is the secretariat who are doing that work. The results have already been announced at the polling stations, and they've been transmitted. I was basically just...
Are you a commissioner, Marjan?
No,
Are you a commissioner?
I'm not a commissioner.
So why were you involved in verification and tallying of presidential elections? What were you doing at National Tallying Center?
I was not involved in verification. There's a team that has been assigned that responsibility to do that work. They were working with the agents to verify the same.
You allocated duties. What was your duty at the National Tallying Center? You told us before. What?
Yes, as a co-chair on the results management at the National Tallying Center.
Are you a commissioner?
I'm not a commissioner.
Did you again read the judgment that you did not have any role, you should not have had any role in the process?
I did not have any role at all. In fact, if it is even an announcement, we have seen basically the people who are announcing the results are basically the commissioners. And if you notice, basically,
you heard the Supreme Court saying that you assigned commissioners to roles like security, which is not the role, instead of dealing with verification and tallying of elections.
I did not assign, they were assigned by the chairman. I was even assigned by the chairman. So the determination of who should basically be responsible for what is the responsibility of the chairman who actually did that. It's not me. Just following instructions.
Have you taken sides in the commission, Marjan? Have you taken sides in the commission between the four commissioners and the 3 commissioners?
I'm the one who has been on records, basically telling the right thing. I'm on record, for example, even before the election, when there were disputes regarding the registration of voters, I'm on record saying that our records are basically correct. You can even do your mathematics and confirm whether what we have is true or not. So even when it comes to declaration, I basically will stand with the truth because I was also part and parcel of the process. If there was something wrong, I will not hesitate to say there was something wrong here. But if something is right, I would say basically.
So Commissioner Irene Masit became bad to you because of the press conference at Serena?
No. It is not that. There are so many other things that basically happened before that. Basically taking the sides, because if you want me to explain that now, I'll explain to you. One, during the meeting
do you have the minutes of the meeting?
No. You want me to explain? Let me explain to you now.
No. Chair, I'm in control of the questioning. Chairman, please.
Excuse me, Mr. Either you want to go into this or you don't want.
Chairman,
let
cross-examination is...
Let me just stop you for a moment. Part of the rules of engagement, when you are cross-examining, you must anticipate the answer. Okay? If you throw a dart that is dark, or you are throwing a dart into darkness, it elicits this kind of reaction, and you want to temper the answer, manage the answer. That is a problem. So, this is the last time.
Can I answer you, Chairman? With respect. The art of cross-examination is an art.
Yes.
Lawyers are trained to cross-examine in the way they want. Yes. A lawyer is not controlled how to ask questions, and I can stop an answer halfway. It's my case. If stopping the answer I will prejudice my case, so be it, Mr. Chairman, respect.
And excuse me, this is not your witness, it is the tribunal's witness, okay? He becomes the property of the tribunal, and all answers that are received are not your answers. You don't own them, the tribunal owns them.
Chairman, it seems you want to ask the questions for me. If that's what you want, you tell me. Because these are my questions, Chairman. With respect again to you. Please allow me to answer my questions the way I want. You can ask your questions after I'm done with my questioning. Please respect.
Tell me which question I've asked.
If I want to stop
Tell
halfway,
me one question that I've asked.
this is the second time you want to force him to answer my question. If I stop asking my question, it's my question, Mr. Chairman.
Ask your question then.
Marchan,
Yes.
do you know Peter Kimuke Chelanga? Have you met him?
I don't recall.
Are you sure?
I don't recall that name, having met that person.
Are you sure, Peter?
Yes.
You don't know Peter?
Yes.
When there was the incident at the airport of those materials from being brought by the Venezuelans,
What about that?
and there was intervention, and the issue was resolved. You never dealt with Peter?
I don't recall dealing with Peter. I only recall being called from the airport, and then after that, as I was about to prepare to go to the airport, I was told the matter has been taken over by ATPU, and I had to go to ATPU at the Central Police Station.
So you don't know the role of Peter in that incident? When IEBC and the judiciary came together, before IEBC pulled out again, in preparing the elections, when they came together as a team, you don't know again the role of Peter in that incident, when it coming together of judiciary, various security organs, IEBC, and then again IEBC pulling out? You're under oath, Marjan.
I don't remember. I don't recall.
So you say you don't know Peter. You've
I
never
don't
met
know-
him.
I don't know. Probably that maybe just fixing the name, because even here today, after leaving this place, I cannot be able to now put the name and the body together.
You don't have his
Maybe
number?
I don't have. I can even give you my phone and you check.
Okay, the truth will come out one day, Marjan. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all? Okay, yeah, I'll have a few questions. Mr. Marjan, a question has come about the registration number and the car. Is it one car with two registration number or two cars?
It's only one car.
And what are these registration numbers?
When
The numbers, what are the registration numbers?
KCL 133U
Uh,
and GKB 699R.
and that car is provided to who?
It is provided to Commissioner Irene Masit.
Thank you. Second question. You talked about suspension and what your HR provided, but you didn't clarify. Kindly clarify. You said there is a HR provision, HR policy, and it talks about what happens on suspension. Please clarify.
When somebody is suspended, they basically get half pay, and also the benefits in the salary, remunerable benefits, they also get half of that. But all other facilitative benefits, you basically don't get. For example, if you are getting a car, that car is withdrawn, and any other part.
Then you used the word there is benefits and facilitation. Please expound why you said that.
Yeah, to facilitate basically, like I said, is to help a commissioner, for example, or even myself, to move from your house to the office, and also when the assignments outside the office, you also facilitate it. Over and above vehicle, we can even facilitate them with transport, air transport, to move from one point to the other, and then they'll be picked with a vehicle, and also security to facilitate so that they can be able to do their work.
Okay, and that is what you're saying on suspension, it's taken away?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then the next question came in related to ISA and company advocates, the one who filed the response when we had shown you. Did you as an accounting officer instruct that law firm?
No, I did not instruct that law firm.
Did the IEBC as a commission instruct that law firm to defend it in the petition before the Supreme Court?
No.
Was The other lawyer, Ouma, was that also instructed by you as accounting officer?
No.
Now, then there's a question you were cut in between and you made a statement and you left it hanging. You said we worked with them so hard. Who are them and what did you mean?
I was referring to the clip, and I was referring to the four who are basically now saying that the results were actually opaque. And that's what I was referring to. So I was referring to the four commissioners, that we worked with all of them so closely.
Is Irene Masit one of them?
Yes.
Sorry?
She's one of them.
Commissioner
Yes, she's one
Irene?
of them. Yes,
Now,
yes.
then you would then say it is so bad that they can go and say the opposite. Clarify what you meant when you say that.
Yes, basically stating that what was declared by the chairman of the commission as the returning officer was actually not true. That is where I thought it is not proper, because we were working together all this time up to the last point on the date of declaration. We were working, so, and every clarification required basically from the ground. For example, if there was any issue which was being asked,
Okay.
we'd sit
Okay.
together.
That working together, was Commissioner Irene also working with you together very well up to that point?
By the way, Commissioner Irene is one of those who actually stayed with us. When some were actually moving, she was basically just there.
Thank you.
And that one I can attest.
Okay, you made another statement that the people announcing results were commissioners. Which dates were this announcement being made when you say this statement, and was Commissioner Irene Masit one of them?
Immediately after the election, the election day, that was actually on 9th. Then after that, the results started trickling in, and after verifying for each and every constituency, the commissioners was basically go there and they would announce the results after they have been validated.
Okay.
And Commissioner Irene was amongst those who basically also announced.
Fine. My last question. You made a statement of the press conference in Serena. What were you saying? You mentioned press conference in Serena. What were you saying?
Well, I was surprised that the statement would be made, even when we were preparing to issue statement. Because when I presented the results to the commissioners, all of them were there. And then, of course, the results were being discussed there. After that, the chairman decided to go and was asking all the commissioners who is willing to go.
No, I'm talking about the Serena. You mentioned the press statement in Serena. I didn't get what you were trying to say.
Who was trying to say?
You, when you were being asked by Mr. Kip Correll, you mentioned about a press statement in Serena.
Yeah, I said I was actually surprised, because even one of the issue was the fact that the results are more than 100%. That also surprised me, because we were using Excel. Excel also basically would round up the number, but it will take care of all the decimal points in calculation. So when you say it is more by this, and that it is the difference.
Thank you. We've learned at least there's a word called opaque. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chair and members.
Yeah, my turn has come. Donald, I'm in town now.
Chairman, I was telling you your turn will come, but you were impatient.
No, this inquiry, in fact, this tribunal is inquisitorial. And so far, it appears to us, Marjan, that there was an implosion at IEBC that left a team of commissioners at the National Tallying Center and sent 3 other commissioners to Serena.
The 4 commissioners.
I mean, four commissioners to Serena. That's really what we've been talking about since this petition, the petitioners began testifying. And being the CEO, being a major player from your own evidence, what is it that happened at IEBC that Kenyans gave to you that led us to where we are today?
Well, what I remember is that on that material day, in that morning, I told the chairman I will be working very closely with the team to generate the Form 34C, which is basically the presidential results declaration. And when it was around midday, like so, the chairman called me to find out how far we are. And I told him that we need like 3 hours to finish. And I asked him, but why do you want the estimate? He told me we need to announce what time we should basically declare the results. So I just need to know how long it will take. So he told me we are actually in the boardroom. Once we are through, basically come to the boardroom. So I think I went to the boardroom around 3 o'clock, maybe some few minutes past 3 o'clock, because the work was so intensive. That morning there were 2 constituencies that were not finished. I think it was Magarini and another Magarini constituency. And there was another constituency that we had not finished verification. So, because we only need to finish verification, then generate the Form 34C. So, as soon as I was through, I generated the results that the chairman should basically use to declare the results, and then I brought the same to the boardroom, where I found all the commissioners basically seated there. And I explained to the chairman what the results were all about. And all the commissioners were seated there. At that point is where now issues basically erupted. And the issue basically was around, no, there is this, the difference is too small. We can't allow to declare the results as it is. That is actually the bone of contention. There was nothing that was being discussed whether...
I mean, don't tell us exactly what happened.
That is,
what figures were we dealing with?
Yes, so the difference was 233.
Yes.
Thank you. The difference was around 233,000.
Difference between what and what?
Between the winning presidential candidate and the second.
Who was winning? Who was the second?
It was actually William Ruto, who was now winning. It was more by 233.
And therefore?
And then, and that was now the issue. It is like, this 233 is too small. We need to give them a second chance for them to go for sort of a rerun. That was actually the issue which was being discussed there. And at that point, chairman asked all the commissioners. When he asked me, I told him, I'm only the secretary. I cannot comment in terms of what you are discussing, but it's your responsibility. I want to believe the time when I came in, I was told that the NSAC had already actually met them. So when I came there, basically I was presenting the results as they were based on the way we actually generated them. And the issue which was being discussed there was the issue of numbers, the difference, and the fact that they should be moderated, so that now we have give them a chance for them to participate again. And this is the discussion that was basically on the table. By the time the chairman asked the commissioners, because the chairman said, I'm not going to do that. I can't do that. The law does not allow me to do that. So at that point he asked, who is willing to go with me to go and declare the results? He asked all the commissioners, and it's only Commissioner Abdi Gure and Molu, and asked the CEO, are you willing to go with me? I said, fine. And that's when we actually left the boardroom. The other 4 commissioners were basically there. That is the only issue that I had been discussed there in that room. Nothing more, nothing less.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll adjourn these proceedings so that we resume on 4th of January. Thank you, Marjan. I want to thank my fellow members of the tribunal. I want to thank Donald. I want to thank Peter. I want to thank Honorable Masit, and to wish you Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Chairman,
Yes.
yeah, sorry, Chairman. I was actually discussing with Peter on the date of the new year. We hadn't agreed on a particular date. I'll be away until I'm coming back on 6th. I'm coming back on 6th. So if you can give me the date after 6th, I'll be glad. We basically changed our holiday plans because of this, and people are waiting to go on holiday.
You can imagine I was also awaiting to.
Yeah. So I'll really appreciate if you do that.
Mr. Chairman, I think first I needed to put on record that Mr. Mahat Somane.
Mr. Marjan?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
I need to put on record that Mr. Mahat Somane is present, watching brief for IEBC. His counsel for IEBC is present.
Okay.
In terms of the hearing, I have a challenge because I also travel on the night of 6th or 7th, unless we come on the 6th and do very early the entire day. So unless we come, if he's away on the 6th, we start early, 8 o'clock, and we rush through by remaining witnesses. I'll be ready with submissions that evening after we close.
Chairman, I was just conferring with Peter. Him is also taking his family out of the country, and he's coming back on 16. I mean, around the week of 16. And I'll be coming back on 7th. So basically, because I'm away until 6th, so I'm coming back on 7th. And the only day is available for him is 6th, which is not, and that's the day I'm not back. So the only time both of us are back is 16th of January.
Mr. Chair, I think as you have a discussion, I think it's important to discuss that the other commissions will be out of office, I believe, 18th of January or 17th, I believe. So by that time, they will have really no obligation to come and testify. They'll be out of office. There will be a challenge in them getting into office to get documents. There's that legal challenge. I'm open on 28th, 29th of December.
Chairman, this tribunal has powers. You've called everyone. You basically compelled people from Yaya, from Serena to come. Retirement, of Chebogati and the team doesn't mean they are leaving the country. They can testify anytime, even next year, even in December next year. The issue that their term is ending in office, that does not affect the evidence which they filed. So that one should not be an issue. They can always come anytime.
Because the challenge is, if they leave office, how do they have access legally to preliminary meetings of IEBC? And will the Marjan have a legal position to give them plenary meetings and all those documentations? And that's why it's important to hear the matter before the 17th of January.
It's the discussion is between the two of you and about your convenience. One is taking away their family on a particular date, the other is doing the other, okay? So you're just worried about your convenience. Do we have a convenience ourselves? Do we then say that we proceed tomorrow?
I'm ready tomorrow.
Do we then, yes, and then in the intervening, when do you leave? When do you go out of town, Mr.?
Chairman, next week. Tomorrow is fine, actually, so long as, so we don't have to, we can come tomorrow, but then we do our submissions next month, and then,
Yeah, I think let's do this, Mr. Munge. The fact that the commissioners leave office on, you say 18th? Yeah,
I believe 17th.
Yeah, I don't think it really poses a problem. If we begin on 16th, they should be able to testify on 16th, 17th. Yeah. But in any case, this is an assignment that is bigger than their leaving office. So, all things being equal, Marjan and whoever else should be able to enable them to access documents for them to come and testify. So the fact that they are leaving office shouldn't be a hindrance.
Mr. Chair, then could I make a proposition?
Yes.
Because I come back on the 16th.
You come back?
On the 16th, could we have 18th, 19th, 20th? We block those 3 days, we finish.
One of my members is going to be out of the country for some international assignment. Let's do this. I will ask that the tribunal and council will come with us to a session. We'll be able to craft some dates that are convenient to all of us, and then we will be able to communicate today immediately to the media and to the members of public as to when we can convene.
that's fine.
Okay?
Very well.
Thank you.
From this side, we want to thank you for everything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chairman, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.